This is a little bit of a different video, I guess, but I just wanted to talk about the state of Bloxers right now, like currently, at the moment. Um, just for reference, I am 30 million bounty on Pirate, as you can see up here in the top, uh, right, and I am also 10 million bounty in Marine. So I definitely have had my, fair share. Look right here. Basically almost 11 million bounty. It's not that big of a difference, and I could be 30 million bounty in Marine if I really wanted to, but I don't feel like putting that much effort anymore. Maybe later, maybe some other time when they make a huge crazy update, but now, nah. What the heck is this? Oh, okay. What is going on here? What is that? Anyways, so yeah, um, don't get me wrong, right? Blox Fruits is not a bad game at all. It rakes in like 250k thousand players almost basically daily. Like there's never really a bad day for Blox Fruits, and it's basically the #1 game in Roblox ever, because of just how popular it's been. And it has like million, like I've seen at its peak 1 million players. Do you know what it means to have 1 million players playing your Roblox game? That is crazy. And now, yeah, most of them are little kids, but still, it's insane for Roblox standards, which is part of the problem of why it's in a stale state currently. But anyways, so the gacha system is awesome. In any gacha, it like the point of the gacha is to make you feel like you're losing out and that you need to constantly roll every 2 hours, right? And it's honestly a peak functionality of the game, right? It's awesome, epic, very cool. Uh, Bloxford Stealer is also peak. That's also really good. Where you could just like if you're lucky, and the server likes you, they'll give you you can buy a fruit depending on what they have, right? Like let's see what they get right now. Okay. Oh, they got Quake. No, that's trash. They got Spider. I mean, that's like it's all right. I guess it's better than nothing. Better than just like the first three. But so yeah, if you're lucky, you could get Kitsune off of it or whatever, right? Or if you're lucky, you get Kitsune from the gacha, right? Another peak thing about block shoots is the trading. The trading is really good, right? Yep, awesome. You can make some crazy trades, scamming, all that, all fun. Um, but I also the grinding, right? Some people might say that the grinding is bad, right? Like, oh, it's boring, right? But I think it's kind of basic for a Roblox game. A lot of games have that, so it's not really a big of a deal. And like you're gonna be grind like if you don't like the grinding at that point, kind of give up because you're gonna be grinding the entire time of the game, right? Even me, who's 30 million bounty, third C, I have like 13 million. I have 43,000 fragments, right? I'm max, right? I have all this stuff, right? I still have to grind because every single, it's a whole thing, right? But you still have to grind, right? Master and stuff like that, right? And new items, stuff like whatever, right? And just for like new fruits, whatever, yeah, right? So, um, let's hop on to like some of the unfair things, some of the things that have led this game to be stale, to be to the point that it is now, right? And now the biggest problem, obviously, is that it hasn't updated since Christmas. It's still update 1 of Christmas, and we're supposed to have a two-part to the Christmas update, and it is now July 26th as I'm making this video. It's been a lot of months since that update, and I've already sensed that Blox was kind of diminishing in their updates ever since they launched the Leopard update, where they launched the new fruit Leopard. And this is because during the Leopard update, they promised that there would be V4 races. And this is important because they promised this, yet they didn't deliver that. Because people would actually like people made like Axiorm, which is a famous like kind of leaker, or like finding secret stuff like that, or yeah, introducing updates, right? He made a whole video trying to figure out where the V4 was, and then it was never there. And they never stated that it wasn't coming out, even though they said it was going to come out with the Leopard update. And then it wasn't until Christmas that same year, which was like I guess now 2 years ago, around there, where they launched the V4 as its own update for Christmas, when that is not when they promised. They waited months. Like they waited months. They made people believe that it was in the game when it wasn't. And then instead they just delayed it until Christmas and pretended nothing happened. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird, not really cool. I already sensed that they were kind of going downhill on these updates and getting kind of lazy because they promise things and then they don't deliver. And so the same thing could be seen with the roadmap. They made a roadmap. I think it was on October, and they were like, "Oh, yo, we're gonna drop Kitsune in November, on Thanksgiving. We're gonna do it right then, and then we're gonna drop Dragon on Christmas. It's gonna be peak." And then for the first like week of the roadmap, it was looking well. It was actually doing what they were supposed to. But then Thanksgiving came, no Kitsune. They instead dropped it like near like towards the beginning of December. So they couldn't even follow their own roadmap they made for the community. Like they said this is a good this is what we're gonna follow, but they can't follow it. So it's like what are you talking about? What does that even like what? You can't even do what you it doesn't sound good, and it's not good at all for for them to do that, right? And then and that's kind of like where we are now, right? Because the dragon was promised on Christmas. Instead, they gave us T-Rex, which nobody really expected or really wanted. To be honest, I'm using T-Rex right now. It's honestly really bad for PvP, like which is like the only really reason you would ever use a fruit whore because yeah, fighting enemies like fighting PvE isn't endgame. PvP is. So when you raid a fruit, it's yeah. So in PvP, T-Rex is not good. Well, it is. Well, it's decent, I guess, but it's compared to other fruits, it doesn't compete. Doesn't make top five, which means it's basically bad. It's the sad truth. But this new fruit that they added, the latest fruit, or the latest sub fruit, right? And then they also had they had the Kitsune, right? But T-Rex is the newest fruit, right? It's supposed to be the hype fruit. Obviously the animations are cool, all that, yeah. We get cool animations. Yeah, I can turn into a T-Rex, blah blah blah. And yeah, while this is very cool and appealing, the fruit isn't good, so it's hard for me to ever use it, right? And I could get into why it's bad and all that, and why but I might make that another video. It's whatever. But the main problem here is that they can't update the game when they're supposed to. And then when they do update the game, they give lackluster updates. Like this Christmas update was a copy of last Christmas update where they just added that new Christmas island thing, and they just added that present thing that spawns fruits every like hour or two. I don't remember. I don't know, yeah. And then they just recycled the boats for Christmas they use, which isn't terrible, but it's just kind of like, come on, you're not gonna give us Dragon, which you said you were gonna give us, but then you can't even give us like better Christmas update stuff, for us to do. They also recently added that Leviathan kind of thing, and that thing just takes forever. Like it's just it that like that competes with getting Darkblade V3, which is debatable, I guess, on which one's harder. But I mean, to get like 12 people or whatever, how much it is, I think it's like 10 or something like that, people on a one boat and to cooperate, that's pretty hard. And then to also beat the boss, because everybody has to be like decent at the game, it's pretty hard unless you have like like an already preset group. So it's whatever, right? I've already done it, but it's whatever. But yeah, so these updates have just not been hidden, and so it's kind of led us into that stale state, right? Where it's like haven't gotten the update, we haven't gotten a update in like forever. It's been months now, but obviously the game will still, it'll still survive, it'll still thrive for however it's like it'll exist. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop it from continuing its course, right? And a comparison you can make here with Blox is with a game like Fortnite, right? Fortnite, I believe that it has kind of dulled down with its updates, right? It isn't the same as it was before, and I believe it's because they believe like there's no urgency in these updates anymore. There's no like I have to do this, or I'm willing to do this. It's more like, oh, we'll just like sprinkle in updates anyway, whenever we feel like it, right? And that's kind of like where Blox is now, right? They are a no threat in the market for games. They're the number one game basically. Like no other game tops them, to the point that they can do nothing and get money, and that's a problem. When they are not being that there's when there's no competition, they don't feel like updating the game, and there's no point. there is a point. Like, obviously, they can do it whenever they feel like it, right? And that's the problem. They have so much like room to breathe that it leads us into the stale state that we are now, where the game is like treated like whatever, right? Like it's a side project at this point. It's not even a main, you know, main concern for the devs or anything like that, right? And another thing I want to point out, right, is that now with this like whatever the Roblox awards that they're doing for maps, the creator, like I think I think it was Injure or something like that, which is like the main dev for the game. He announced that like what was it? It was like every time they win like a category in the event for like the best Roblox games, that Roblox hosts, they'll they'll post a new leak for the update. And then this struck when as I saw these leaks, I realized that this was a problem, right? One of the sneaks they gave was like, oh, we're also working on reworking guns. But who asked for reworked guns? Literally nobody. Nobody asked for reworked guns. Sure, it's cool that they rework guns, but almost nobody uses that. It's highly advised, even in the beginning, to never use the guns. It like if you want to use guns, you're trolling, or it's like it's a very specific build you're trying to build, right? Or go for, right? Or you're playing, badly. You're playing harder on purpose, right? So, or you just want to lease yourself, like right? You just want to play around, right? But test new stuff, right? But I don't think anybody's asked for this gun rework. But that they say, oh yeah, we've been working on a gun rework, but nobody cares. We were waiting for Dragon V2, but then why are they working on other stuff? And they also revamped this little Hydra Island right here that we're looking at, right? What's the point in that? Like, we don't care. Why couldn't you just give us Winter Update Part 2 sooner instead of giving us all the stuff that nobody cares about? It's like if Fortnite, for example, there's a date, or they instead of posting a new season, they're like, oh, we didn't put we like delayed that new season because you wanted to add more stuff to the season, but nobody asked for that new stuff. They just wanted the new season. That's it. It's because the game is getting stale, right? The season is getting stale, so they want a new season and they want new stuff. It doesn't really matter to the point where they want, like, at that point, just make that extra stuff, right? A mini update if you have to, but at least update the game, right? It makes sense in the Fortnite terms, right? And so I believe Fortnite and Blox kind of face the same problem where they have no like real enemies that they ever feel like the need to try, because even like it does they'll still win no matter what. They'll still get the money, and they'll still be getting the cash, which is the point of their existence, right? So I was kind of bothering me. I'm like, dang, like another thing is I was like, shouldn't it be more that, like, oh, if we win a category for Blox, right? Shouldn't it be like, oh, we get more stuff, right? Or let's say we get Dragon V2 faster, something like that, right? Think about like this, right? The strongest battlegrounds, right? They if they win like all categories or whatever, right? They're doing a whole challenge themselves too, right? The devs said that they would release like this very special character called KJ. It doesn't really matter, right? But they're getting an entire character in that game. It's a fighting game, right? They're getting an entirely new character that is it's supposed to be like a special character, right? Like only the admin's supposed to use it, right? But they're getting content for winning the awards, right? Meanwhile, Blox is only getting sneak peeks for an update that we still don't know have a date on. We don't know what's gonna come out. Like that's a huge problem, man. The difference is diabolically huge, right? So the problem here is that why couldn't Blox just do the same thing? Like, oh, we'll give you this, blah 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 blah. We'll give you like triple dark blade for a very limited, like an hour, if we win or something like that, right? Or the update comes out faster, we'll work on it harder, something like that, right? It doesn't have to be this hard, right? Or like, we'll drop Dragon V2 today because if they have time to work on guns, reworking all the guns or something like that, right? Or reworking on guns and reworking on entire island, why can't they just finish Dragon V2 and launch that out and throw it out? People have been waiting for Dragon V2 since forever. And oh yeah, it was like a dragon rework. My bad, not V2. Which is another thing, right? The the raids, right? Like the raids for V2, right? They are awesome. They're really cool. I like to play them, they're cool, but obviously there's no point for me to play them anymore since I've already V2'd every single fruit, which is part of the problem. Why did they stop making V2s? Like they have so many. They have light, they got blue, they got right? Why did they stop? Like there's no Dragon V2. Doe was the latest V2, right? But how long ago was that? Like I don't believe that the V2s are as consistent. And I believe that instead of making reworks, they could be making V2s. Like instead of making the Dragon rework, why not just make it a Dragon V2 instead? To make like just obviously the effects will be cooler, but like I have so many fragments, and the only reason I have to use them, right, is to like rebuild my stats and all that, right, from new build, right, maybe like a gun build or a sword build or a fruit build, right. That's the only reason I have this 43,000 fragments, right. And even with that, it barely scratches the amount I have, right. I gain more than I earn, and I gain more than I earn, and that's the problem, right. So like they really gotta like step that up and like go more into that scene of V2, because the idea is really cool, but they're missing out on like taking advantage of that. They're not using it at all. So yeah, I don't like the state right now. Like it's pretty dull. Obviously, the game is not dead with in enemies, right? Like the game will always be popular because honestly, it's a really good game, right? But end game wise, like there's a point where like there's no reason to play at all anymore. Like that's where I'm at right now. I have 30 million bounty. I got 10 million bounty on my marine, which I'm not on right now. Sadly, I forgot. But I just thought this like kind of to show you. But yeah, it's kind of like dull. Oh, and another thing is, what happened to reworking the entire first sea, the entire second sea? What happened on that? They literally showed sneak peeks about that, like maybe like a year ago. They showed sneak peeks of like, oh, we're gonna completely change the factory in the second island, which is where you get like the fruit if you just do enough damage, right? And we're gonna completely remake the first sea, like, and everything. Apparently, they showed little pictures, all that. That thing is gone. That thing doesn't exist. There is no remake, nothing like that. It just went out of the bus. Like it doesn't exist. And instead of like them like even talking to us or telling us what's going on, what they do is they just have Zeolius, which is like some YouTuber they have, right, that they really like, right, and they kind of boast this YouTuber as like their main YouTuber guy, right, for the devs, like for Blox shoots itself, right, and he just like does a bunch of like admin troll videos, which like is like the only like the closest thing we have to like them even like speaking to us, and it's only for them to like advertise that he's making a video and to for the day because they want more money, right, basically the point, which isn't really cool at all. Like I don't really care about the guy. I don't care about admin abuse videos. Obviously, it's like more like kid focused, but like, come on, like show some sort of like the team is alive, that they care about the community.
And once all these updates are done, we can start pushing weekly updates with weekly fruits and all that stuff. And once all these updates are done, we can start pushing weekly updates with weekly fruits and all that stuff. And once all these updates are done, we can start pushing weekly updates with weekly fruits and all that stuff.
Obviously, it's whatever, right? But like, dang, bro, like this game, like, cause this game is awesome. This game is cool. I enjoy playing it. I could play it more if they actually cared about it, right? Another good thing about the game is that they have like cool raid bosses, right? Like they have Katakuri, they have like not raid, but like world bosses, right? Like event bosses. They have Indra himself, as a boss, and you get fragments from that, which is cool, and you get items, it's cool too. But they stop. I don't know. They gotta make a fourth scene. I believe. I think they could do it. Maybe make an entire Wano area, but I don't know. It's just the game is in a really weird spot, and it's been this way for like a while. And I believe the true end game of Blox is just quitting, to be honest. Like the bounty system itself, right? The bounty system is actually really cool, right? like the concept, right? And it's a pretty good end. It is the end game, right? Like it is the end. Like this is what you build up to. This is what you level up for. Blah blah blah. Right? You build up for the bounty, right? I'm maxed out my pirate bounty, right? What happens if I max out both, right? Then I have absolutely no, like the bounty system goes out of the window, right? Maybe they could increase it, but I don't know if I would fix it because at that point I'm kind of bored of it. I don't really care about that much. But just the idea of like kind of raising the stakes when you're fighting somebody like PvP, right? Where you can lose or gain status, right? Currency, right? In some form is pretty cool, right? But to like, yeah, to like after you've done it so many times, it's like it doesn't really matter anymore. It's like whatever. Like, now it's like, oh, how do I optimize my builds, right? How do I get more mastery to do more, right? But it doesn't really like help the problem, help solve like what's going on, right? So yeah, it's like the end game players don't really have anything to do right now. It's like, ugh. And most like these like this T-Rex, it doesn't really help. It's not even fun, right? Because when you're an end game player, right? What's the end game, right? PvP, getting bounty, right? When you release a fruit that's bad, like I can't even have fun with it because I'll die. I'll get cooked by some guy using leopard or portal or some fruit way better. And yes, I said portal. Portal is a good fruit. Um, so yeah, it's like I can't even have fun with this fruit. Like obviously I can use it, I can test it out, I can have some fun with it. Obviously it looks cool, whatever, right? But in the end, if it isn't good in PvP, it's not as you don't get that same adrenaline rush, that same like, oh, this is a cool, I'm fighting somebody for real. I can fight the bots, right? And I can obviously probably maybe kill somebody, right? But it's not like a good player. You're not gonna beat with T-Rex unless you're like cracked out of your mind. But at that point, it's like it doesn't even matter to be honest, because like if you both have the same skill level and they have leopard, you're gonna get clapped. You're cooked. Like it's GG's. But yeah, that's kind of like the biggest problems with Blox fruits. Like it's just look, there's a magma guy. Oh, he's not even my level. I would cook him. But yeah, that's kind of just what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just a state of Bloxers right now. It's in a rough state, and I don't see them getting any better. Like, sure they can drop this Dragon V2 update, right? Or Dragon rework update. I keep saying V2. Oh, this is very important. Another thing is, right? They promised Control V2 or a rework. I can't remember which one, but they're basically the same thing, right? Just one has a raid, one doesn't, right? Not that big of a difference. But they promised, an update to Control, right? Yet they completely forgot about that within a year, and they only focused on Dragon, which is cool because obviously Dragon is the better, more popular fruit, right? But that doesn't mean that we can just forget that they promised Control V2 or something like that, right? Like they're kind of getting so lazy to the point that it's like come on guys, are you being for real? Like that's just how it is, like to be honest. Like, but yeah, still waiting for Control. I stacked up on controls because I was saying I might have given my away already, but I stacked up on controls. Oh no, but I still got four. I stacked up on controls because I knew that they were gonna get popular. They were gonna get, but nope, stuff not coming out. But yeah, as I was saying, it doesn't matter if they update, right? Because then they'll just go back to doing whatever this is. It'll go back to being stale because they don't care about the game, or at least that's what it seems, right? Like they'll just ghost the game for another 2 years or another year, right? A couple months, right? And then nothing will happen, and then it'll be dark again, like stale. So unless they kind of like change the way that they look at the game and how they want to operate the game, it won't really change. Like it won't really fix itself. It won't work. Nothing will change. Nothing will happen, right? So they really gotta like, I don't know, they gotta do something, bro. Like they gotta do something because whatever they're doing now, it's not working out. It's not doing nothing, bro. Like, Obviously, I could just be talking, right? Like I could just be talking. Like it doesn't matter if they update or not, or like if they fix the problems or not. They're still gonna be successful. So honestly, it doesn't matter. But as a player who wants the best for the game and wants to see more of the game that I like, I would prefer if they fix themselves. Had a better outlook. Look, that's the factory. They said that this entire island, this entire place, they said they were gonna remodel. We're still waiting. But yeah, I just wish that they could just like evolve, like like kind of like wake up. Like this is the Blox I love, bro. Like being here, goofing around. This guy asking for a Buddha raid. That was me like 3 years ago, like 4 years ago. I don't even know. Like it was tough, bro. It was tough, man. But yeah, this game has a lot of potential to be even more than it is. The PvP is awesome. One of the problems with PvP though is that most people. Oh, this guy's frowny faced. Yes, I'll host a Buddha raid for this guy. But yeah, one of the problems with PvP, right? Yeah, one of the problems. Let's go. Is he coming? Anyway, what's going on? What's the hold up, buddy? What's the hold up, Kirby? Oh, dang, did he TP over there? Dang, I guess I'm ready. One of the problems with PvP, right, is oh yes, like people take it really seriously, right? And the PvP for like an open world, like what it is now, it's probably it's the best PvP open world I've ever seen. Like the way that they do it, where you can just like hop to islands and fight, where it could be on the water, it could be right here, right in front of me. I could fight this dude, or I could feel a real player, right? Like I remember having an entire control battle right here versus two other guys, right, and it was super intense. But I like lived and I just like did whatever, right? I was cooking it, right? Um, but yeah, like people take it really seriously when it's not really meant to be that way, right? As much as you would think, right? Like I think block shoots kind of like, and they kind of capitalize on this, right? Like when you play block shoots, you're like, oh, there's so much skill involved. When all that's pretty much a lie, to be honest. Like there's not really, there is skill involved. That is true. I think it's red, blue, red, and then green. Oh, okay. I think it's blue, red, blue, green. What's going on, bro? What's I haven't played since so long that I forgot the code. Whew. Oh, red, blue, oh, green. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Wait, the red. Oh shoot. Damn, I think it might be kind of cooked. Blue. Boom. There you go. Okay. Oh. Yeah, but like as I was saying, okay, hold up, I gotta buy normal. Let me buy this guy a Buddha raid real quick. Hold on, give me a sec. Oh shit, I might get cooked to be honest. Like, I don't think I'm beating this Buddha raid. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna change my build for this guy. Give me a sec. Okay, so as I'm walking to go get Ghoul, so I can one-shot this raid for this guy, right? So as I was saying, right? Bounty plays a huge factor into like Yes, I can solo, yes. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, bounty plays a huge part in who wins a fight. If I have 30 million bounty and the guy has 2.5 million bounty, which is like kind of like the basic to BVP, or even 5 million bounty, right? Or 10 million bounty, right? I have the upper advantage. If he even has 20 million bounty, I have the advantage because you don't stop getting buffs and debuffs. So yeah, like you get defense buffs and you get attack buffs, right? And you get them from bounty, right? Every like I forgot, I think it was 5 million bounty or something like that. No, think it's 2.5 or so. There's a weird amount. I forgot. Completely forgot, right? It's not really a big deal, right? How do I become about goal again? I gotta go this guy. Sure. Damn ghoul. Say bye to T-Rex. T-Rex is like leaving. Leaving. He's gone. Okay, got Buddha. All right, great, awesome. Okay, coming back to solo this raid for this guy. Showing some, some of Jesus Christ's love, showing that appreciation. Anyways, what was I saying? I forgot, man. I ain't gonna lie. Oh yeah, so bounty, big problem, right? Like it determines on who wins the fight, right? A fight immediately is most likely unfair if you're fighting someone. To be honest, if it's either you have better stuff than them or they have better stuff than you, right? Think about it like this, right? Even subtracting out the huge buffs that bounty can give you, right? Like they can give you 30% defense and like 50% attack or something, or 30% attack, which whatever, right? No matter the percentage, right? It's still something, right? It's still helping you, right? Another thing is, right? Oh, going up, going up. All right, get the fruit for this dude. Oh, is he giving me a fruit? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, normal. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Rather, trade. Boom. Awesome. Cool. Cool beans. I should have got a fish. I should have got fish man for this, but it's whatever. Oh, this guy has Buddha 2. This is gonna be awesome. Okay. We're gonna get this guy some Buddha stuff, whatever. Buddha V2. There you go. There you go, little buddy. Anyways, yeah. So even without the bounty buffs, right? You gotta worry about mastery buffs, right? Because I didn't even know this until like deep into the game, right? The mastery, like right here, I have God Human 600, right? Right here, it says mastery 600 max, right? That mastery gives you more damage on whatever you're using, right? So if you're using Buddha, the Buddha moves do more damage if you have more mastery on him. And unless you have 600 mastery, which is the max as it says right here, you're not using the full potential of the fruit. Like the fruit is not optimized. Like you're not getting the most out of your damage that you could be getting, right? And that little bit of damage, it does a lot. Like you might think like, oh, well, it might not be that. No, it is that crazy. Like that determines a fight. If I have max mastery and the guy I'm fighting doesn't, which with a god human, which is a very common melee that people use, right? If I have 600 and he doesn't, that's a big difference. That damage is racking up on top of the bounty buffs that also give more damage and increase my defense. So the fact that people will like take PvP so seriously and they'll say like, oh, like, well, like you're bad, you're this, whatever. And like the game, it was never meant to be like the game isn't meant to be played, or it shouldn't be played like crazy, like you like, oh, I'm gonna win, like blah blah, blah, right? It shouldn't be played so seriously. Obviously, it is, like there's nothing you can do about that, but it's like whatever, right? But Another thing is the devs kind of like lean into it, right? Like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, the PvP is crazy," blah blah blah, and they kind of make the people who play the game believe that the PvP is skill based, right? People want to believe it is, even though it isn't. It's unfair. Like whoever steps in the ring has the better equipment, right? Also levels, obviously levels have a huge, uh, thing that talk about like the levels have a huge impact on who wins the fight, obviously, right? But that's assuming we're assuming that they're both max level because that's usually the time when you want to PvP seriously at anyways. Um, but yeah, hopefully this guy enjoys his Buddha VT when I get into him. I forgot what's the button. Forgot that it's T for the race skill, whatever, right? But yeah, Blox is a really cool game. Awesome, I loved it. First couple hours, but just the end game, I don't think that it does really treat you very well. At that point, just move on to another game. To be honest, like it's not that serious. Um, what else? Anything else? Not trying to think about anything else. To be honest. Hmm. I mean, for accessories, in case anybody's trying to take notes, like I guess I can make a separate video talking about like what's gonna make how to be a good Bloxers player. I guess like even though it's kind of whatever. Like I like it's kind of basic. Like you can kind of already tell what you have to do. But like there's some things that I guess not everybody knows that I could help out with. But it's nothing like it is pretty crazy, I guess. But mostly it's like how much time you can put in the game, to be honest. And that's just the kind of game that we're playing, right? This is the game we're playing right now. Is how much time you can put in to have max mastery in your god human. Have max mastery in whatever fleet you're using or whatever build you're using, right? And that's kind of like it's kind of boring, I guess. Not I guess, but like that's kind of the thing when I was saying in the beginning, right? That grinding never ends, right? And the reason why it never ends is because there's always mastery to grind. Like I've been playing for how long, right? And I still don't have max mastery on like everything, right? Or like the important things, right? Even like the most basic like cut and dry good builds, right? um I don't have max master, right? Obviously I have like max master on like leopard, like really important things, like super important things, like things that are crazy, right? But nothing like I still have things to work. I still have work to do, right? And that's the problem. Like damn, like I've been playing for so long and I still got stuff to do. Yeah, but that's just kind of the game, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's in a really weird spot, and I hope it gets better. I really hope it just like levels up or something. I don't know, like maybe I don't know. I don't really see a future for the game. But yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I wanted to talk about the game state and like why it's not as good as it should be. Oh damn. Like I believe that the number one spot for Roblox should be doing a lot more. So I believe they should be taking it a lot more seriously. You know, I remember I remember the time when they said that there would be like the next update, right? Not this one, but like a couple updates before. They were like, we're gonna make one update, and then after that update, we're gonna have an update every week. We're gonna have a fruit every week, blah blah, blah, right? A fruit every week is crazy. But they were saying, oh no, wait, hold up. Nope, that is not what I said. They were like, oh, no, we're expanding our horizons, whatever. We're getting more people. We're getting more like staff members, stuff like that. They were saying we're getting more devs. Kirby dot. Kirby, no. Stay in the first island. Kirby, no. Why'd you die? We literally got it, bro. Kirby, bro, I literally did all of this for you, Kirby. I died this whole build. I wasted fragments for this guy, bro. By getting this race. by getting this whatever this Buddha and letting go of my T-Rex, which wasn't even that crazy to be honest, but it's whatever. Sad day for Kirby, but I tried. Anyways, Kirby will continue his journey. He'll have fun for a long time, probably. But yeah, it's just like a lot of things that they say that they're gonna do, but then they don't do it. And I don't believe anybody's ever called them out on that. So I felt like doing it myself. And I don't know. I believe they should be held accountable. I'll be honest. Like at least say something. I'd be like, oh well, we messed up. We're not gonna do that no more. They got delayed or something like that, right? But nothing. No, nothing. They don't say nothing. Not on the Discord, not on nothing, bro. So it's like, damn. It's like, well, what are we gonna do now? Oh, man, there's some guy trying to fight. But yeah, I don't know. All right, well, this video is long enough. There's probably some more things I want to talk about, but I think I got the main things like slam down. Um, I might make another video talking about like, oh, well, what's the best like builds, blah blah blah. But I don't think that's like super necessary. Nothing like super crazy, to be honest. So yeah. Ooh. See you guys later. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like. This guy's following me. This guy wants me dead. But yeah, while I'm running from this guy, because I don't want to find him right now. See you guys on the next video.